Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Abuzir Suhaib, and on behalf of the HSN College Science Society and the administration of HSN College as a whole, I would like to welcome you all to the closing ceremony of the 6th edition of the HSN College Science and Engineering Concept. My fellow head of registrations, Rayan Mirza, and I will be hosting the ceremony today. Over these past few days, we have had quite an experience hosting this event, which has proven to be a great success, alhamdulillah. There is nothing better than seeing delegates from all over the world, including Australia, Kenya, and of course Pakistan. Seeing all these delegates from all over the world working hard to prove their prowess in whichever category they compete in. We would like to thank you all for participating in Acsec 6 and making the most out of this opportunity.
Thank you, Aksec. This year, due to the uncertain circumstances, Acsec for the first time was held both physically and online in tandem. But despite these uncertain conditions, the Acsec team was not only able to host a total of 1,300 delegates across a total of 13 categories, but also provide a unique experience for each and every delegate as part of the Acsec experience. Now, we commence with the ceremony with the recitation of the Holy Quran to be done by Ahmed Sheikh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى صدق الله العظيم.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, exalt the name of your Lord, the Most High, who created and proportioned, and who destined and then guided, and who brings out the pasture and then makes it black stubble. We will make you recite, O Muhammad, and you will not forget, except what Allah should will. Indeed, He knows what is declared and what is hidden, and we will ease you toward ease. So remind if the reminder should benefit. وَمَا إِلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ.
I would now like to introduce the chief guest for today's ceremony, Mr. Salman Akhtar. Mr. Salman is a world-renowned electrical engineer and entrepreneur who managed to continue and further develop the worlds of science and business through his many projects. After completing both his bachelor's and master's degree in electrical engineering from the renowned MIT, he then went on to do his MS thesis, research in compound semiconductor physics at the IBM Watson Research Center. He is the founder and co-CEO of Technologics, an IT services, consulting, and business solution company, and has remained the driving force for the company's growth as a methodology-driven organization focused on delivering engineering excellence using an evolving mix of technologies. Now, we would like to invite the chief guest to address the delegates.
The principal, ladies and gentlemen, and of course boys and girls, Assalamu alaikum. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to join you at this event. I'm delighted that this event is occurring in the first place and that Acsec conducts such events. I am, as you can see from my white hair, an old person. I was in Acsec about 30 plus years ago, and of course Acsec has evolved considerably since then. We've never had events like this. Actually, even the amphitheater didn't exist. So it's really heartening to see that the school is encouraging students to work and go beyond the curriculum and the course-based learning that of course is part of the day-to-day education at the school. I would like to say this, that engineering education and science education itself has been evolving very rapidly over the last 35-40 years. And the real focus today across the world is on experiential learning. So that's the idea that the best learning that you're going to have is learning when you actually do projects and do things yourself, as opposed to courses. Of course, the courses are important. They give you the basic knowledge that you need to apply to actually do something. But you will really learn things when you get to do them yourselves. And I'm not just talking about doing exams or homeworks, but really doing projects yourselves. So even at MIT, they've been restructuring their curriculum. Even back then, many of the courses had a strong project component, but they've been restructuring the entire curriculum to really structure it along project-based learning. And in fact, there are new colleges that have emerged in the US that are entirely structured around project-based learning. So in that sense, events like this and projects where students are encouraged and you come in and do your projects and do your presentations, they're fantastic. They're absolutely the way to go. Okay. I think the real question that we should ask ourselves is, we should measure ourselves against the best in the world and see how as an institution, as a school, do we measure up to all the other schools that are there in the rest of the world, and how do we compete against them. Let me say this, the raw material, i.e. your raw ability and talent, is clearly second to none. I say this because I know that even the people who were in my class who went and studied in the US, even though we weren't doing this project-based learning or anything else like that, there are some of them are, professors in top colleges in the US. So clearly the raw talent and ability is there. So there, I'm no doubt in my mind, some of you, all of you have that ability and talent. Within Acsec, and I'm sure some of the other schools, or most of the other schools that are participating, we actually have the resources also. This is not a resource-constrained institution. You can look around and you can see it's not. So we need to ask ourselves the hard question, how do we rank compared to other institutions worldwide in, for example, this field of science fairs and education. So before the event, I took the trouble to look up data from the US National Science Fair competition, which has an affiliation in Pakistan. So the people who participated from Pakistan also in that competition, there are people from 80 countries that participated in it. And over the years, they had a website for Pakistan, and over the years about 15 students from Pakistan have won some kind of award at that international level. Somebody won a bronze medal, somebody won $500, this and that and the other. So great, excellent, 15 people did that. A little disappointed to see there was nobody from Acsec that had ever done this. Okay, nobody from Acsec ever won anything at that international level. So we must ask ourselves the hard question. This is good, it's great for us to organize and do this, but are we really executing at the best of our capabilities and the resources that we've been endowed with, both intellectual and physical and material, let's say. And perhaps it's a question of organizing ourselves, of creating the right structures whereby we are able to participate and have the guidance of both the faculty and faculty outside of HSN, maybe LUMS or NUST or some of the engineering institutions. There's a lot of old boys who I'm sure will be very happy to assist in that process. But I think that's the question we should ask ourselves. Because always we must be mindful and measure ourselves not against what we have done or what in the past years, but against what we can truly achieve and measuring that on a global basis. Okay. So with that, again, I'd like to congratulate all the winners who I'm sure I will be handing out some of these trophies to and probably wear out my arm, but that's okay. And again, thank you very much, and congratulations to everybody who's been a winner in this. Thank you.
Thank you for those very encouraging words, sir. I would now like to invite the worthy Principal of HSN College, Sir Michael Thompson, to address the delegates.
Good evening to everyone, particularly our guest of honour, Salman Akhtar. You're always interesting and pushing us onwards, and your contribution to metacognition recently in the senior group was simply outstanding and greatly appreciated. Thank you for being here. It's wonderful to welcome you to this event. The last few days has brought the best out of many people, and they've engrossed themselves in problem solving of a very high order. In this regard, I pay obvious tribute to the organisers, and especially Dr. Muhammad Kamran, and the various student leaders of groups and ideas, and I draw out two, Muhammad Had and Wali Ahmed as the two leaders in that, and the committees who have altogether made this extravaganza possible. From what I saw, it was conducted in a seamless fashion. Of course, the senior headmistress, ever present, along with many staff here this evening, have played a key role in making sure that happened. I especially, from a personal point of view, and in an adequate sense of feeling, congratulate the boys in the control room with all that high tech that managed to link us all together, all those programs, for so many people who were able to key in, if that's the expression, log in, I think might be better, log into the various links and to follow what was happening. I thought that was absolutely wonderful. And I shared that link with a number of people in Australia and around the world to showcase what was happening, and all were very, very impressed. So to say well done is a sort of a trivial compliment when I consider the competence and interactions that have been at play over the last 3 days. But my chief praise, my main praise, is reserved for all the schools that made this possible and so successful, meaning the dozens of schools from Pakistan and of course our international friends in Australia, Kenya and the USA, among whom there were students who stayed up late and got up early just to be involved. It's a terrific effort, and we especially thank our international friends for doing that. Let this not be the end. Before I hand to Dr. Kamran for a more detailed, intelligent response, I wish to comment on education because this exercise, in a sense, was futuristic, and therefore I open license to talk about something of the future. I'd have to say, of the many excellent things that many schools in Pakistan do, I think education is best represented when the walls of schools come down and we entangle ourselves in group thinking just for a while. And the internet of people is awesome, powerful and miraculous. And indeed, it will almost seem pedestrian to turn back to formal curriculum after this phase. And we almost need to convince ourselves to do it. Possibly, just possibly, I'm joined by other educators in hoping for a freer schooling mechanism someday when we can truly educate by unhinging from the preparatory ranking systems across the globe, which are limited by testing and grades, instead of inquiry and cooperation that I've seen here over the last 3 days. Young minds want to tackle the big issues. They're eager to think alongside one another without being graded. And I think that's the badge of youth. And such events encourage this. And having spoken to many boys and girls over the past 3 days, I'm more than ever confident that your generation, no matter how often it's assessed, will find the necessary answers and the projects for your time, as long as we continue to encourage freedom of thought and respect for the truth. For me, this has been the essence of the whole exercise and the gathering of young scientific minds. I thank you all on behalf of Aitchison College. I thank you for making this a wonderful Acsec, perhaps the best we've ever had.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words of inspiration. I would now like to invite the President of the Science Society and the figurehead of Acsec 6, Muhammad Had, to address the debate.
Assalamu alaikum ji. So, it was never on the schedule. It might be possible the boys were not aware of the whole schedule that I will be coming on stage. So, won't be taking much of your time and will be handing over the mic to Had for the detailed description of the events as well. But I would like to thank everybody, first of all, starting from the external guests from all across Lahore specifically. And as the staff advisor of Science Society, Aitchison College Science Society, so it's an immense pleasure and pride as well, you know, that Acsec is back on campus, in person, physical. And as a deputy headmaster, moreover, so it is again an immense pleasure, you know, so it's a relief that the event has been successfully reached its completion. So all this could not have been possible without the continuous, consistent support of the principal Aitchison College, Bursar Aitchison College, and always an inspirational role, Ma'am Amna Kamal, for all the continuous support throughout the event 24 hours. Ma'am, thank you so much. And very briefly, would like to touch upon the very hard-working Executive Council, always taking the things in a leading role. My staff, the peons and the sporting staff especially, from the senior school office, giving the maximum time to boys and girls all across the country. So thank you so much again. Wish to see you next year, inshallah ta'ala, with full, groom and support as well. Thank you. Had, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum and good evening, delegates. And thank you to all those who joined us virtually and physically. It's very difficult for me to describe the journey we've been on for the past week or so, because it was not until last week that we knew that this event was going to be held hybrid. And for that, I'd like to thank all of us present here, especially my team, my executive council, and all my juniors for putting in the hard work day and night. Thank you. From solving nuclear crises on Earth to solving nuclear crises on Mars, the Acsec categories went a long way. From the tightly contested rounds of Robinson Challenge to the equally interesting rounds of Wolf of Tech Street, the event provided something for all. Whether that be interrogating suspects in the Mystery of People Avenue or diagnosing patients in Pastor's contagion, I hope everyone had a good time here. To every delegate, regardless of whether you lost or won, I hope Acsec instilled in you a sense of intellectual curiosity that we did not have before. If you can leave Acsec with two things, a set of new friends and a set of new questions, I believe I have fulfilled my role as president of the Aitchison College Science Sector. The team behind this transition
from Ali Bhai sitting outside Ma'am's office, to Riaz Chacha, the grounds and works team, everyone who is behind this event. Keeping the campus you have inhabited for the past few days clean and spotless. Thank you to all those for their hard work and making sure everything is good from behind the scenes. Our staff advisor, Sir Kamran, has guided us every step of the way and to ensure that this event goes forward without any delays, without any problems. He was definitely the beacon of light who guided us all the way from the start to the end. Moving on to Ma'am Amna, our headmistress. Thank you, ma'am, for bearing with us. Thank you for guiding us every step of the way. Supporting us throughout the event and making sure this event was a success. Moving on to Sir Michael Thompson, our worthy principal, who stood with us and gave us his guidance and support. Moving on to the Executive Council, my peers, who have stood with me shoulder to shoulder, Dawar Zahid, Muhammad Mushtaq Iqbal, Wali Ahmed and Wali Rauf. The four of you, the event would not have been possible without their efforts. So I thank my Executive Council for that. Moving on to my friends, my batchmates, the H2 batch, Saad Atif, Araf, Mustafa Umar, Tala Ijaz, Hamdan Sari. Thank you all for stepping in at this point and making sure the event was a success. And lastly, but certainly not the least, my juniors. My H1s, C2s and C1s were equally present, staying till 12 a.m. in the nights and working hard to make sure the event was a success. For most of you, this event was a culmination for 3 days. But for me and for the rest of my Executive Council, this has been a journey of 4 years. The friendships made, the people I've met, these 3 days, all spent in preparation, will remain forever green in my heart. Capping off my journey with the biggest Acsec we ever held, the first a physical event in Acsec during the COVID pandemic, hosting over 1,300 delegates, and also the first hybrid event Acsec has ever had. This was everything I could have ever wished for. From the bottom of my heart, once again, thank you to everyone present here, the delegates without whom the event would not have been possible. Thank you to all those who joined us virtually and physically from all over the world, from Australia, the US, and Kenya. And to all those who have joined us today, the event would not have been possible without you. Thank you. Good luck and Godspeed.
I would now like to present the backbone of the individual categories as part of Acsec 6, the Secretariat at the event this year. For Arfa's recursion, we have Muhammad Ali Noon, Malik Nofil, Hassan Mohsin, and Hasnat Safdar. For Robinson Challenge, we have Muhammad Saad Atif, Ehsan Javed, Muhammad Taha Shahzad, and Isa Iqbal. For Colonel Ashraf Research Prize, we have Ale Rashid, Dawood Ali Sayyid, Shujaullah Marayach, and Abuzar Suhail. Next up, from Haley's celebration, we have Abdul Rafi, Aram Ibn Hassan, Unib Rizwan, and myself, Rayan Mirza. Next, from the Gaussian variable, we have Talha Ijaz, Aham Nadeem, Sheikh Shazib Ali, and Mustafa Hamid. From the Icarus category, we have Ghazi Ahmed, Hamza Najab, Ahmed Shahzad, and Saad Aziz. Next up, for Pastors Contagion, we have Sardar Ahmed, Usman Ahmed, Bilawal Khan, and Sherdil Shehrazi. For Race, we have Ahmed Saver, Raif Ali Bukhari, Sarim Safraz, and Azaz Salahuddin. For Wolf of Next Street, we have Zaim Gondil, Hamza Ansari, Hassan Fawad, and Alian Zadi. Next up, from Asimo's Ascension, we have Chaudhry Abdullah, Arham Manzoor, Amin Zaka, and Subhan Hassan. From Daida's Labyrinth, we have Suleiman Khan, Saad Khurram, Chaudhry Faizan, and Mahat Khurram. For the Mystery of Pipal Avenue, we have Bilal Mustafa, Yusuf Ali, Shahryar Asif, and Khudadad Usman. Thank you, delegates.
Now, for the Directorate, Director Operations Aram Nadeem will introduce the Directorate to all of you.
Now we would like to present the Directorate of Acsec VI. The Directorate is the backbone of our event, and without doubt, this event would have not been successful without all their efforts and hard work. For the Directorate illustrations, the two masters of the ceremony, Rian Mirza and Abu Zar Suhaib. The Director of Operations were Chaudhry Faizan and myself, Arham Nadeem. The Director of Promotions were Asad Ali and Ahmad Sarfaraz. The Director of Stations were Chaudhry Faizan and Murtajiz Hussain. The coordinations were overseen by the Director of Coordinations, Khudadad Usman Vik and Saad Muhammad Aziz. The socials conducted yesterday were organized by Saad Bajwa and Akbar Saraz Manj, who were the Director's socials. The Director's creativity, Hassan Aulakh, Abdullah Wakar. The Director's hospitality were Asfandyar Yunus and Hussain bin Nasir. That concludes the Directorate. Thank you.
The moment we all have been waiting for. It would do no good to keep all our delegates on the edge of their seats. So I would like to invite Dawar Zahid and Wali Rauf to announce the awards.
Starting off with the Mystery of Pipal Avenue category, the award for the physical category goes to ISL Team C. The runner-up award goes to ISL Team I. The runner-up award in the online category for Mystery of Pipal Avenue goes to LGS 1A1 Team B. The winner in the online category goes to Melbourne White.
Moving on to race, we have the Physical Medium Awards. For the runner-up, we have LGS Defense Team G. The winners of race are ISL Team F. Moving on to the online awards of race. For the runner-ups, we have Melbourne Grammar School Team D. For the winners, we have Lacasse ALJT Team X.
For the Wolf of Tech Street physical category, the runner-up goes to LGS Defense Team A. And the winner for the Wolf of Tech Street physical category goes to LGS Defense Team B. The online runner-up award for Wolf of Tech Street goes to LGS Defense Team L. The online winner award goes to Karachi Grammar School Team K.
Moving on to pastures contagion. For the physical medium, the runner-up is LGS. For the winners of pastures contagion physical category, we have LGS Defense Team A. Moving on to the online medium. For the runner-up, we have LGS JT Senior Boys Team F. And for the winners of Pastures Contagion Online, we have LGS 55 Main Team B.
For Dateless Labyrinth, the runner-up for the physical category goes to LGS Georgetown Team A. The winner for Dateless Labyrinth goes to LGS Defense Team C. For the online medium, the runners-up goes to Karachi Grammar School Team B. And the online winner for this category is Melbourne Grammar School Team E.
For Halley's celebration for the physical medium, the runner-up goes to LGS Defense Team E. The winners of Halley's celebration, we have LGS JT Team A. Moving on to the online medium, the runner-up goes to Melbourne Grammar School Team E. And the online winner goes to Melbourne Grammar School Team A. Moving on to Gaussian's variable. For the physical medium, the runner-up goes to LGS Defense Team X. The winners of Gaussian's variable are LGS JT Team B. And for the online medium of Gaussian's variable, the runner-up goes to LGS Defense Team N. And the winner goes to Lacasse ALJT Team B.
For ARPA's recursion, the physical category, the runner-up award goes to LGS Defense Team F. And the winner for this category goes to ISL Team A. In the online medium, the runners-up award goes to Melbourne Grammar School Team C. The winner for the online medium goes to Cedar College Team B.
Before we move on to our next category, I would like you all to acknowledge the presence of the Director of ISL. Please give him a huge applause. Moving on to CMO's Ascension, the runner-up goes to LGS JT Team H. And the winners of the CMO's Ascension are LGS Defense Team B.
In the Icarus category, the runners-up goes to Beacon House Defence Campus Team A. The winner for Icarus goes to LGS Defence Team D.
Moving on to our surprise category, Mysterio. The runner-up goes to LGS JT Team F. The winners of Mysterio are LGS Defense Team B.
Now we come to the compulsory category Robinson Challenge. In the physical category, the runners-up award goes to LGS Defense Team D. The winner for Robinson Challenge goes to ISL Team I. In the online medium, the runners-up award goes to Lakas ALJT Team A. The winner for the online category is Karachi Grammar School Team B.
Moving on to our next compulsory category, Colonel Ashraf Environmental Prize. For the physical medium, the runner-up goes to LGS JT Team A. And the winners are LGS Defense Team X. And for the online medium, the runner-ups are LGS 55 Main Team B. And the winners are Spectre College Team A. Moving on to the Best Team Award, which this year is being called the Sir Charles Aitchison Science Medal. This goes to LGS Defense Team B. The Sir Charles Aitchison Medal for the Best Team Online goes to KGS Team B. The runners-up B team for the physical medium goes to the International School of Lahore. We would like to request only the head delegates to receive the trophy. Moving on to the online runner-up BD, we have the Karachi Grammar School.
Now for the best delegation, we have LGS Defense. The best delegation online goes to Melbourne Grammar School.
Moving on to the tokens of appreciation for our chief guest, Mr. Salman Akhtar. Moving on to our principal, Mr. Michael Thompson. Headmistress Senior School, Madam Amna Kamran. And last but not the least, our staff advisor, Dr. Muhammad Kamran.
With that, we move towards the end of the closing ceremony.